Well to the Lindalive Show. Happy Sunday, everybody. How you all doing? Well, I hope you all are doing well. Right, it's your girl Linda once again, and I'm here to bring you live entertainment with lots of hot take from the internet and around the globe. Something for you to think and talk about all week. Anyway, how you all doing? How is everybody doing? It's been an absolutely amazing week, and there's so many things that have happened all week. There's so many celebration and everything going on. And last week there was no show, and if you have watched last week's show, I said at the end of the show, because a lot of people have been calling me and asking me, like, Linda, have you stopped the show? What's happening? Is the show not on? They didn't get the message. But if you watch the show till the end, I don't know if a lot of people forgot. I said last week there wasn't any show because I've got some appointment that I need to do in London, so I wasn't. Well, sorry about if you missed the show last week. My apologies. Well, we are back again, and we are down to bringing you all the hot topics and all the most interesting thing that you can talk about all week, something that you can relate with. Well, like we all begin, the week before, we were talking about how we can develop, or we can encourage youths to be part of the political system. And there's so many elections coming on, and I think that was a really interesting topic, something that people can actually research and talk about, and try to see how we can put youth, our youth can be part of this political system. Otherwise, it's just like they've just been left there for so long. And I think a lot of people, it's a hot topic on the internet, and so many discussion about how people can get, our youth can be delegated in, how they can contest for seats on wherever, House of Assembly, Parliament, or anyway. 2019 is coming. So many elections is coming around the world. So I think it's something that we really need to look into and talk about. Anyway, last week I was away, but there were so many birthday parties. And today I will be wishing everybody a happy birthday at the end of the show. I will be talking about everything that's happened last week while I was away. People sent me messages. Some of them I couldn't read. Some videos were too long. I couldn't put it on the show. And some of them were really funny, to be honest. Like the one, what was it called? Areta, she sent me that video of this, I think it was yesterday or so. And I watched it. It was really funny. But like I said, videos are sometimes very long. I couldn't put all of them on the show. But pictures, yeah, I can put one or two on the show at the end of it. But right now, it's getting really interesting. And I think a lot of people are getting to like the show. And I want to thank everybody that has been watching the show lately. The views are coming up. I'm very grateful, and I'm happy that you all are supporting the Lindalive Show, and I encourage you to do more about the show. All your suggestions I've been taking note of. I've taken into account, and I'm working on it to make all that corrections and make sure that things get better, and so you can find the show more interesting and more entertaining. Anyway, well, today, while I was discussing about the youth empowerment, I was talking about how we can delegate youths into a political system. I saw another discussion on the internet, and I felt like this is a very big opportunity for me to talk about youth development, to raise the awareness about youth development. So what I want to say today is, how do we develop youth? People who think that they are permanent leaders and they want to be part of the political system. How do we develop them to come into this really, really big platform that everybody think, okay, you are most of the time we actually wait. People wait till all politicians, I think, around the world, they were mostly like from 50s or so. But does it really have to be so? Are we doing something that's wrong? Are we supposed to? People go to school, universities, and they graduate like people be 26, 28, 29, 30s, stuff like that. Those people, some of them are like in the political system. They study politics. They are studying leaders. They want to be part of the society. They want to be. But then we think about the gap that they have to wait or to get into certain positions before they can get delegated. I don't know. What I was doing research, I think people were saying that is too long for people to actually wait till that time. people have ideas, people think they have something that they want to contribute to the community, that they think that the current government aren't doing, and they think that as youths they can be part of it, and they want to be part of that political system. So leave your thoughts at the end of this show, because it's a very big discussion, and you can be one of them youths who wants to be in a political environment or making decisions for your community. And if you think this is a very good awareness, then share, like, tweet, post, so that other people can support what your own views, other people can support what inspires you as well. Anyway, today I'm talking about youth development. Youth development, we already think, like, if we're talking about technology, we see the way technology gets up. I think I've said this before, and I think this is the second time I'm talking about how fast technology gets updated daily. But if we think about youth development, are we actually being developed, or are we just developing technologies, which currently I think is taking more jobs from people? I don't know if a lot of people are going to hate me about this. I'm not saying technology is wrong, but I'm just saying that the human factor, physical people that want to actually work, there aren't a lot of opportunity, there aren't development in youth. People are not being developed. Rather, there are systems are being developed. Technology is being developed every single day. We have new iPhone this, and Samsung that, TV this, and car that. But what about human beings? What about us? If you look at the current climate of the unemployment right now, it's so high. So what is the cause? Is it technology development? Because that's a the good thing about technology is that we can communicate easily, we can do things really, really quick. But then again, we need to think about the part of what about us? How do we develop human factors? How do we develop the human aspect of work? So that is a question that is going really global right now, and everybody is very concerned about in the next 20 years, in the next 10 years, what's going to happen to humans, how we're going to have jobs, things, what will humans be doing in the next 10, 20 years? If everything is being done by technologies, what are humans going to be doing? So that is the main topic. So I was like, somebody was talking about like education. Yeah, everybody go to school. Some people say, going to school, it's just a waste of time. I have so many degrees and apparently I have nothing to do with them. That's what somebody said to me. But I just look at him like, well, that is your own view, but I think that's very wrong to say about what you have actually put so much effort on and so much aspiration. You want to get the best result. You want to get the best out of. When you're in school, I think a lot of people relate with me. When you're in school, you really want to put the best in. You want to get it fast. Everybody want to aim for the highest when you're in education, and that is the only place. I wanted to say it last week, but I think I forgot. When you go to school, that's the only place that you get your award. That's the only place that don't discriminate. When you work for it, you get it. So I think education is the right path. I think people should get education. So when we talk about youth development, we talk about building more schools. We talk about creating a place that is primed at developing people, human factor, people's potentials, people's aspiration, where people can go, like an innovation center, where people can go and do things that they think that they are capable of doing. If you watch that, like, there's so many youths that are jobless, there's so many youths that are out there, they're doing absolutely nothing. But if you have some facilities that's for youth development, I think it's something that we can actually relate with. We can actually do. So what about, when I'm talking about youth development, I'm not just saying like somebody has to do it for you have to wait for people to do it. Sometimes what I'm saying is youth development, we are in an environment once you are of certain age that you can develop yourself, then you need to start making a plan. You need to build in yourself. You need to create a personal development plan. That's why I say PDP. And every time I say PDP, people think like, oh, Linda, you're of PDP. You're so PDP like that. But this is the actual. But it's actually PDP plan is actually the path that you can use to plan your progress, the progress of what you are doing. You can see the PDP. You're planning. You do things. You write down stuff. You develop it, and then you write down the progress. How far you've gone with those plans. So that is what I was talking about. Creating a personal development plan. It's using it to encourage, using it to create awareness, creating to develop yourself as a youth. Not just wait for people to come and develop you. Sometimes you have to develop yourself. Sometimes you have to make yourself known. You have to get in there. Like the last week show, by the end of the last week show, I said sometimes you have to go put yourself in those positions. You have to go to those places and go get it yourself. They say if the mountain doesn't go to Muhammad, if the mountain doesn't go to, mountain doesn't go to Muhammad has to go to the mountain. So that is the thing that I was talking about, youth development. So don't wait for people to come and develop you. Develop yourself. Put yourself in that position. Put yourself at that right place. That when somebody sees what you are doing, it inspires them, and they will want to, be part. Not just they will want to be part of that plan that you have. They want to invest themselves. They want to say, I want to work with you. I think what you are doing is absolutely great. So you put yourself, develop yourself. That is the educational. That's education. Sometimes you feel like going to school is a waste. No, it's not a waste. When you develop yourself, that is education. So when you go to an higher institution or secondary school, wherever you are, and you actually learn, put your effort and everything into it, you'll find out you are developing yourself, and you find out that nobody will be able to press you down or put you down in a certain position that you don't want. You'll be in control of what you do when you start developing yourself. So that you create an awareness, you create an environment that can take you and accept you, or where you can accept. And then youth development is very, 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 very good. Because with the current climate right now, the current environment that we live in, there's so many things that we need to consider, that if I don't do this myself, nobody will do it for you. And if you don't go there, it won't come. Or it won't come to you. So you as a human being, you need to develop yourself. Youth, you need to develop yourself. Put yourself in a position that you wouldn't find yourself lacking, slagging behind. You need to come out of the crowd. I say, when I put a video and I say coming out of the crowd, you need to come out of the crowd. You need to pull yourself out of that crowd and stand out. Make a statement, stand out of the crowd. So you know that you have developed yourself, and there's nothing, you've put yourself in that position, and I promise you definitely show for success. That is what I'm talking about, youth development today. How you on your own can, and you as a youth, how you as a youth can develop yourself. And again, it's just not the youth. On the other hand, how the government can, there's so many elections coming out, and there's so many things that's going on. But most things, the government, the youth are asking, like, what about the youth? What about people who, what about your youth? Let me put it that way. What's that? What the future hold for them? What's their future for those kind of and jobs? Where's their future? Where's their future? If you haven't considered the youth in maybe certain elections, I think you need to rewrite your memo. That's what I think. If you haven't considered the youth in your what you've got, what plans you have for the future for the youth in whatever constituent or whatever community that you are trying to represent, I think you should rewrite your memo, because then there's something slacking. You need to have a strong point. You need to have a strong view, or a strong, you need to have a strong focus for the youths in wherever you are, because they will grow up to be where you are. And you want to create that you want to create, as a person who is a leader, you want to create that kind of you want to create that atmosphere. You want to create that road. You want to open that door so that people that you have led can follow your path, and you can represent them prominently. You can represent them very well, and they will learn from your footstep. They will always look forward to you. They always look up to you and say, "That's my leader, and he has led me well, and I'm following his footsteps. He cares about my well-being. He cares about things that concern me and my future." So sometimes when you read people's, like elections and all that, when you read about people's memo and their manifesto, it's like, it's all about sometimes there's so many things that's just not written on it. They don't have strong, it's like, what is the political system? It's like, do we really know what's happening? Are we really doing the right thing? Just too political, It's just too political. It's just not right. Let me put it out. It's just too. That was just saying. It's just, when you look at something, it's just too political. Too laws, They've not really actually put anything that, that is very fresh, that's very physical. Everything is just, sometimes just like, the word is like fiction. There's nothing like reality. It's not reality, it's all fictions, all fictions. Sometimes people make, when it contest an election, like, what is, like, I think I heard, like, in Nigeria, contest, and you make promises, and then you don't fulfill that promise, then what's the point you have contested in the first place? What will you say things when a manifesto, when you write something in a manifesto and you end up not doing them? Giving what you say, and people are expecting it from you, especially youth, because they are the most, they have a vast majority, they have a broad audience, and they are expecting what you said on your manifesto. They are expecting so many things. So if you're not giving the youth, they are slagging down, they're really reluctant. Some of them just give up. So you as a leader, you need to encourage your youth as well on your own side. You need to do things that you say you're going to do. Do it correctly, and make sure that they get in. So it encourages youth to develop themselves and prepare themselves for a valuable opportunity that's coming their way. So if you as a leader, you're not showing a good example, you say something on your manifesto and you end up not doing it, your youth, your followers will slag behind, and they will, get fed up. And so many kids are on the street. The other week, there's a bomb in London, isn't it? Yeah, there was a tube bomb explosion in London right now, and those are things you need to, as a leader, you need to try or look for a strategy that you can use to, get youth out of thinking negative. Instead of thinking how to destroy a place, you need to think of how to make the place even more better. And if you don't do things correctly as a leader, then the youth is just going to be left out. They will just not follow you. They'll think that they've been abandoned, and you don't even care. You say one thing and you don't do it. They just do whatever they like. That's the word. They just do things like, government don't care. I don't care. If you're a leader and you care about the youth in your society, then you need to look for a way that you can get them, instead of destroying things, thinking of building bombs and everything. Think of how they can make the place a better place for both you and for themselves. Because if it's dangerous for them, if the youth are out there destroying stuff, it poses as a danger not for only them. I said it before, for everybody. It's for everybody. So you need to think of how you're going to develop the youth into better place, into better people, into people that think of becoming part of where you are as a leader. So that's the awareness. That's what I searched on the internet last week, and that is that's the most hottest topic that is on the internet this week. People are thinking of you as a leader, or leaders globally, I would say, need to develop the youth. You need to think of how you're going to make the youth better, because the youth are your followers. Forget about your cabinet. Yeah, the cabinet is there, and people you delegated to as your ministers or your councillors or whatever, they are there. But your focus, you need to be on the street. You need to be on the youth, because if you are not looking after the youth, then when the community is in danger, then it's all going to boil up on the youth, and it's going to fall down on the leaders. So if you forget that aspect and then you focus on the wrong place, the consequences is just going to be you as a leader. So you need to develop the youth development, encourage the youth. Even those that you think like they have given up, you need to look first a way that you can get back to them and say, no, don't give up. Get back in the community and be somebody. You can be somebody. We all, human beings, have gone the wrong way. They've gone the wrong path. And sometimes they just need for you to believe in them and encourage them again to come back into the society and become a better person. Safer for you and safer for everybody. Well, today, and I hope it sinks well to this is an episode. I think everybody's find this interesting, and find this very interesting, because some youths, they have so many potentials. I believe some youths have some resource that isn't untapped. So they just need you to support them. Like last week, the topic for last week was on untapped and unsupported. The untapped and unsupported. I was talking about youth empowerment, and today I was talking about youth development. How are you going to develop the youth to be in a better place? That is what, as a leader, that is what your focus should be on. How are you going to be developed? You need to think strategically. I think it's, what I say, like, some memos are too political. It's just not real. It's just so unrealistic. Like, we put things and we make them right. Make it real. Make it real. Make it real. Make what you were saying reality. The reality. The facts. The truth. Tell all this. I'm going to encourage all the political leaders, because you guys are the people who are leading us, and once you are not fulfilling what you said, then the youth is going to be doing a different thing that is going to distract, now bring a distraction for what your focus are. So it's going to even cost more. I know sometimes when things happen, it divert the attention of the government and they focus on that. But right in the beginning, you should have corrected that mistake as a government, and so that it doesn't happen again, so that it doesn't divert your attention. Because once you are being diverted, now you're going to be focusing on bombs and there's so many other things you could have prevented initially, so they don't happen. Because once it happens, you're going to focus on those things, and the more you focus on on things that you should have corrected in the first place, things that you should have done in the first place, it's going to slow down what your ambition is. So people waiting for you to deliver your manifesto, to deliver as a leader, but then you won't be able to deliver because you have been diverted to a wrong, what wasn't on your plan. What wasn't on your plan. And such things like the natural disasters, when they happen, it's just leave you in an awkward situation. So youth development is just not about youth developing themselves. I think the government need to develop the youth as well. They should be concerned about youth development. I think it's very important because we are all part of this current situation, current climate, and the environment is very chaotic at the moment. A lot of things are just happening. So people have raised the awareness of youth development. They think if youth are developed, certain things would change. Well, we could try that and see. And I think the government should be part of it. Anyway, like I said earlier, well, today I'm not gonna put any celebrity up. I'm like, you know, today I want to appreciate everybody who has been supporting the Lindalive Show. All of you guys are amazing. And sometimes when you call me and I'm like, you call me about the show and they say, well, this is really good, you really loved it. Sometimes I'm speechless. Well, thank you all very much, Florence, Ehis, and her husband, Esther, and her husband. You guys are amazing. And if I'm not mentioning, if you see your picture of Gloria, you know, when this show started, it was me and Gloria, but me and Gloria, we put things. She was there, and happy birthday to you, and I hope you're having a wonderful birthday celebration. And there's so many other people who I haven't been able to celebrate today. And of course, happy birthday to your sister. I hope you guys are having a wonderful birthday party. And everybody that has been supporting the Lindalive Show, Choosy, you know, I'm never gonna forget you because you're one of my best pals. Victor, yeah, thank you very much. Charles, all of you guys are amazing. Thank you very much, and you know, you guys are just amazing. And all the fans everywhere in the world, everywhere. I don't know how many people have been watching the show, but I know a lot of people have been watching. Thank you guys, you know, everywhere in the world. Thank you, I love you all. Well, continue to tweet, continue to like, continue to share, continue to post, and take care because God loves you all. Bless you. It's the Lindalive Show. I'll see you all next week. Take care. God bless. Bye.